loaf out and make sure that kind of just one side hits the flour. Because effectively, you need to make sure that one side is floury enough that you're not going to stick to it, but the other side is wet enough that it will have traction on the surface. And you need both those things. So what you don't want to do is get it all totally covered in flour, because then you're sort of rolling it around on the surface and you have no traction. You also don't want to have, get yourself completely covered in it. So I make sure my hands are, as nice and floury as they're not going to stick, it's not going to stick massively, but just like dry and floury. I've tipped it into a nice pile of flour, and then I lift it out of here. It's really nice and dry on that side. I can feel that I've got plenty of traction. And then you sort of shape it into a square-ish. And at this point, so when we were doing the folding, we were kind of taking the whole side. But when we come to this side, it's easier that you're going corner to corner to corner. So again, you're kind of grabbing under, pulling out, and pushing into the middle. And this is, you just want to keep your hands nicely floured so it doesn't stick. Again, out and into the middle, out and into the middle, out and into the middle. And we're back to vaguely a square again. And you can feel there's real tautness and tension, because effectively that's what you're aiming to do. You're generating as much tension in the loaf as you can. So, and with this you do it twice. So again, out and round, and it will be harder because you've kind of got the gluten in there. And then this is the point where you just want to make sure you have as little flour on the surface as you possibly can, because you're gonna now. So from here, this is the bit that there's lots of different techniques. You can find YouTube videos. But what I do is you take a corner, and then you roll. And the rolling is kind of like a spiral into itself. So it's not a rolling over itself. It's your spiraling into it. So again, you're using the traction on the table to sort of fold in like a wave. I think I explained to Lila yesterday. So, and at this point you need a bit of speed, and it's just practice. You'll get better as you go. So it's like this, and then you're rolling. Do you see that I'm kind of turning in and using the traction of the table to keep it all taut? Again, more flour on the hands. So you're doing that, so you've got a nice log, and then you're going to do the same thing but from side to side. And again, you're curving your hands underneath to sort of push. I guess if you're pushing down and up, this is going to come under. So it's again a sense of curling in on itself. You see it rolling, and again you're rolling, and you're rolling, and I would be quite pleased with that. I hadn't, well actually I can put it in one of those guys, and if you're using one of these, I just put it straight in like that. If you're using a Vanachon, I then sort of make it slightly more round. Now that was the 50% white and the 50% wheat. Yours won't respond in the same way, so don't expect it to look that easy at all. That was just because that was the loaf that I made. So it's likely that because yours won't have as much gluten, it just won't have that tension built. So it's more a case of trying to get it vaguely log shape and contained and into one of these guys. And so I am just we're gonna do it one at a time, each with me, and then once it's done you can sit down and we can all start having lunch. But so whoever wants to start, that's fine, and I'm just going to talk you through the process, because then I can sort of maybe show one-on-one how you might do it.